Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien Professor, and I am here, as always, joined by my friend Grifflet, who is sitting in Zen meditation above a barrel in the Dunbog. I found this a very striking image of Grifflet levitating 3 feet above the camp of the Dunlandings here in the Dunbog, where he has been levitating now here for some time. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Druid's Fire, he did learn that trick from Kiriana. I've also been reflecting on, you'll notice that I've still not gotten around to dyeing Grifflet's new cosmetic outfit, though I did improve it this week. If we can we look any more closely? Well, I'll probably disturb Grifflet if I do. Anyway, I upgraded his boots and his shoulders, so his outfit is more uniform now. So I think he's looking sharp. Let's see. Here, Grifflet, here you go. Stand up. There we go. All right, let's see. See, I like the boots there. There we go, and his shoulders fit the outfit a little bit better. I've been kind of reflecting this sort of like shades of brown and gray thing that the undyed, it kind of like, especially here in the Dunbog, it's kind of stealthy. Like it actually sort of fits in. I've gotten used to this look. The more I've thought about it, maybe a nice brown would also blend in well. But of course, I can't really think of dyeing Grifflet's primary adventuring gear in some kind of really bright color like Even Dim Blue. I'm a big fan of Even Dim Blue myself, but it's still, like it's not stealthy. Even Dim Blue is lots of things, but stealthy it is not. Anyway, all right, let's get back to business here in the Dunbog. All right, so we were just about to turn in. Oh, right, because we just killed Bloodmaw and found another artichoke gazebo, which is really exciting. News on the artichoke gazebo front. So I've had several tweets and updates from other folks. Word about other artichoke sightings around Middle-earth have been pouring into my Twitter account. And there have been a couple very interesting examples, like the one that we found in the Cardolan Ruin in the Barrow Downs on Tuesday nights. Tuesday night's field trip on exploring the Lord of the Rings, where the artichoke leaves. Well, they're not, of course, actually. I don't want anyone to actually think that I believe them to be the leaves of an artichoke, but anyhow, it's now officially the name, more or less. See where they are arrayed in like a larger border all the way around, as we saw at the Cardolan Ruin, which is pretty cool. Though it still doesn't explain to me why they would be found in those like just little clusters of 3, possibly purely decorative. I still like to hold out hope for a more symbolic interpretation of them. I still think, well, I don't know. I'm still not resolved on this question. But anyhow, okay. But we also killed Bloodmaw, which was also important, I suppose. So let's turn that question.
Greetings. Will you remain here long?
Okay, I'm a worthy hunter. Excellent. I put your hunters to shame. Well, that wasn't my plan. I didn't want to shame anybody. Just, help a little bit. Okay. Right. So, wow. Yeah. This is a pretty big upgrade over that one. Let's get that. Okay. Back to Clone Rose. All right. Go speak to the elders. Great. Will do. Maybe they can give me a lead on that creature with the bag full of kids. What do you say? Would that be good, Grifflet? When we want to help. What's his name again? I've already forgotten his name. Mabel? What was his name? I can't remember. All right. See, Pontin Finberry, I'm thinking the same thing, right? That it looks like what the heck is that? Just a mushroom? Puffball? It's gigantic. It's not a mob, though. Can't click on it. Is it a rock? Clamshell? Weird. What the heck is that? Egg? Oh, it's an egg, right? One of those turtle eggs or something that I was collecting? Okay. All right. Sorry. All right. Brief distraction. Maybun, thank you, Hologro. Yes, that was it. Maybun. Yeah, we gotta help Maybun. Poor Maybun, carried off by some gigantic creature, stuffed in a sack, and here we're not able to help him. Okay, so we're back here in Juanros. Okay, elders. You didn't think I could do it, huh? You didn't think I was a worthy hunter? I killed blood moth, found an artichoke gazebo. All right. You've been keeping watch on me. Excellent. Yeah, let's talk about the secrets of the Dunbach, including child-bearing monsters. I mean, not bearing, like in the sense of giving birth to them. I mean, bearing them in the sense of carrying them away. Sorry, perhaps not a very apt choice of words there. Child-bearing monsters. Oh dear. Okay.
Do not speak the names of evil things, for you will call them.
Okay, we have much to talk about. Here in the Dunbog, you're able to stay out of the affairs of the rest of Dunland. You know that the storms brew on the horizon, but you make certain that you keep out of the rain. Okay, I like that. You like to stay dry here in the bog, do you? Part of the reasons is that we have a constant reminder to the north of what happens when we don't mind our own affairs. Really? The last time we interfered, Saruman took many of our people and did foul things to them. Wait, as a punishment or just like for fun or part of his R&D? The last time we interfered? In what? Hang on, I need to know more of this story. What, Elder Dain? Dain? Is that a stress above your... Yes, it is. Dain. Dain? Wow, okay. Right. Saruman, you're right, did things. I am not sure what he was doing there, but he returned one day with an army of twisted monsters, abominations to nature. Oh dear. Now we need to deal with the attacks of the abominations every day. Go north and help stave off the attacks of these creatures, and when you are done, speak with Anurin. Got it. Oh man. So, they interfered, they got involved with something or other, and Saruman did vile experiments on their people.
Hear me out, Devodiad, for I
Wow.
have a tale to tell.
Huh. Kind of makes you wonder where in the R&D process this was for Saruman, right? I mean, we know that Saruman's development of the Uruk-hai was part of his R&D process. That he would actually do something else, that seems to me more advanced, right? Because, I mean, the making of the Uruk-hai was just a breeding experiment, horrifying to contemplate breeding experiment, but he was just crossbreeding humans and orcs in order to generate his new breed of orcs. The whole idea being, as I understand it, to make orcs not only bigger and stronger, but also to, because they don't tend to be not as tall as humans, but also to make them resistant to sunlight, right? So that they'd be able to go about during the day without, all the strengths, none of the weaknesses of normal orcs. That seemed to be kind of the plan. And by genetically intermingling them, notice, by the way, when you start talking that way, genetically intermingling them, how much one is distancing oneself from like the emotional impact of the thing itself, right? The actual crossbreeding. That is presumably forcible rape of human women by orcs. Maybe it was, benevolent and consensual, though that's hard to imagine. But anyway, but again, from a, sort of scientific standpoint, from the standpoint of Saruman's R&D department, that's relatively sort of low tech, right? If he was actually attempting to twist or pervert the nature of humans themselves, to take a human being and without crossbreeding just do something to it in order to change it into something else, that seems to me a fundamentally different kind of process than what we have him doing with the Uruk-hai. So I would guess, therefore, that whatever he was doing with the Dunbogians, that's not what they're called, the Avangluth, would be later on, right? Would be a later step in his R&D department, because it's also, I can't help but think, a more... well, I mean, okay, it's hard to get more vile than the forcible crossbreeding of orcs and men, I suppose. That's the thing that Treebeard called a black evil, but but yet there's something. The reason that I tend to I'm kind of thinking here of the mutation of human beings as a more significant thing, this sort of solo mutation, right, is because it's much more, I don't know, Melkorian, right? More Morgothian. It's more like the kind of things that Melkor did. I'm trying to think of examples of Sauron doing anything like that. Right? Morgoth did. I mean, with the orcs in the first place. And that really kind of would seem to be the thing, right? Just as Morgoth took elves, at least according to the published Silmarillion, Morgoth took elves and warped them and changed them and made them into the orcs. That seems to be what Saruman is doing, right? Trying to take humans and warping and changing them into something else, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's, I think that seems to be the parallel that we're suggesting here, and that's why it seems to me, so it's not just like, hey, let's fiddle genetically with orcs, right? But rather, let's develop a whole new warped species of the same kind, right? So that's my understanding of what's going on here. So I have to think that it's must be relatively recent, presumably. Anyway, let's see. Okay, hang on. Back to, sorry, Kedivore, I've left you hanging forever. Living in a wet environment allows for many diseases among the people. We do our part to allay such illnesses, but it always seems like there are more and more every day. Okay, right, you've got some illnesses. Some of the sicknesses coming from Clan Colvarn, the village of the abominations. We have seen a rise in rats and the diseased swamp gas. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Oh. In sickness and in plague? Is that supposed to mirror the wedding vows? So in the Dunbog, instead of in sickness and in health, you get in sickness and in plague? Those are your two alternatives? Oh, right, yeah. My new thing there. Okay, fine. All right, let's head north then. Oops. Meant to jump it. Okay. So I'm going to be interested to explore these abominations, to get to see these abominations up here. And see if I can first head in the right direction. That would be step one. And then to see how... Okay, there's the swamp gas. Right? Orc abomination. Really, it's labeled orc abomination. Huh. Well, that's fascinating. Hang on a second. Let's check this dude out. I've got the really bright stealth spotlight on me here. Okay. Oh, hey, get back over here, man. I want to see your face. I mean, I see that you're all hunchbacked. Please don't go near the swamp gas. Come on, would you? Honestly. Stand still. Okay. Whoa. Alright, that's not an improvement. Hang on. What's going on here? Stand still. Would you please? So, Saruman thought that putting... Is that supposed to be a carapace? Like... Oh, now I'm getting swamp gassed, too. Okay. You got fangs and a glowy eye. Maybe the glowy eye is an upgrade. But my question is, what were you? Okay, alright, fine. I'll kill you. Gave you a head start, but, you know. I was just trying to look at you. Defeated orc abominations. Stupid swamp gas. I'm not being attacked by anything else, am I? No, just a swamp gas. I love how I can slash at the swamp gas with my knives. Okay. Right. Yeah, see, Finlay, I was just thinking about that same thing. If Saruman was mixing women with orcs, it had to take years because the baby orcs had to first grow up to become soldiers, assuming it would take them as long for men to reach adult age, then when do I think Saruman started to breed them? I do think that was a while back. Now, it can't have been too long ago, because he seems to be doing this inside Non-Kuranir, and he seems to be concealing it, and only lately has he started to kind of come out, right? With what he's doing. You know, so like, for instance, I mean, remember what Gandalf describes when Gandalf speaks at the council of going down to Isengard, of all the changes in Isengard, right? How the trees have been cut down and replaced by the posts and everything. But he was, they're not, he hasn't turned Isengard into like overtly evil spot, right? Yeah, I mean, Gandalf would never have come in and been trapped if everything had been changed by then. Gandalf was watching a lot of the transformation happening from the top of Orthanc, so we know that, you know, but that only shows that Saruman's, you know, kind of open declaration of himself as, you know, evil power and master of wolves and orcs is only recent, right? That doesn't mean that he hasn't been building this up. He's clearly been building this up for a while. Grima has been at work and has been his servant for years in Isengard. Gandalf suggests there. So, what's going on here? All right, here we go. So yeah, I see every reason to think that Saruman has definitely been working at this for quite some time, and that he probably started his Uruk-hai experimentation a while back. That's another reason why I suspect this whole mutation thing. Now, you are right. Let's see. I missed a couple comments here. Phil, I was thinking of that too. When I was looking at that orc abomination, I was also reminded of the Pulpum, the fungus orcs, down in the Foundations of Stone in Moria. But that was a disease, right? That was, as I understand it, some kind of an accident. They were in pain, as I recall, right? They were being tormented by this, like, infection that was going on. So that was not deliberate. That wasn't anybody's plan. And it did look like that to some extent. But yeah, I'm not... I mean, it is interesting that sort of exists as a model, right? But, oh dear. I hate it when that happens. Here, move out of the way. Get over there. All right. Okay. Oh, so I'm on the very corner of things, right? Where's that camp? Over here somewhere. Oh, wait. Diseased rat. Okay, but now here's another really quite crucial question. Do these orc abominations have pockets? Right. That can be picked by industrious burglars. That is a crucial question to which we will have to discover the answer here. All right. Oh, here we go. Here's the barricades. Oh, it's a Nurin. This is the dude I'm supposed to check in with. Okay, there we are. All right, so we've got some injured folks, and we've got some Dunland guards. This is the front lines in holding back the abominations. Is anyone going to tell me the story of when they interfered and stuff? I want to. Okay, you don't have time to talk. There are wounded and sick guards. Are you waiting for a sealed letter in the mail? Okay. All right. I'll help. I'll tend the wounded. It's good. Okay. You're saved. Hooray. And then you run away? That's going to make me look bad. Maybe you're on medical leave. And it's all totally acceptable. Okay. Hey, I'm terrific. Well, that's very kind. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I saw the other one over here. Here we go. We are helping. Yeah, Bumble, I agree that orcs very likely mature faster than humans. I mean, you can imagine that Melkor would have been not very interested in his new breed of orcs having a long, and extended childhood. So yeah, I would imagine that orcs would mature relatively quickly, at least like to physical maturity where they can wield a weapon and fight in battle. Hang on. Oh. Strong work, guys. A little too strong. Look at his claws. Yeah. They do seem like mutated orcs rather than mutated people. I thought they were mutated people. I've actually proven useful. Well, wonders never cease. Okay. Right, but I'm supposed to come back with you and check in with you after. Wow, that's a really nice. You've got an attractive set of tattoos here, Nurin. I really like the interlace work. Look at that. That's really good. Way better than most Dunland tattoo work I've seen. That's really cool. Do you have good tattoos? Well, that's not bad. Not sure about the tusk look, right? But you're in the Boar clan, right? Aha, right. Okay, gotcha. I thought this was the Avankluth. Yeah, you're Boar clan too? You got your tusks? Yeah, okay. That's good. I mean, I don't like it much. I'm not a fan personally, but Boar clan, I'm with you. All right, so I'll go find some. Yeah, how are they raised, Sam? I don't really know. Orcs. We know. I'm gonna go with absolutely nothing about orc, childhood experiences. We really just. I don't think we even get any indirect hints. I can't think of a single reference that gives us, reason to, or like any ground upon which even to speculate about what orc childhood could be like. So, yeah, that's a tricky one. Yeah, Phil, we do know less about female orcs than we know about female dwarves, especially since we don't even. The female of the species is never even alluded to, so far as I can recall. They must have women. Personally, I can only imagine two roles for orc women in orc society, and I hasten to say independent, or like dependent orc society. As far as an orc society which is living more or less on its own without any big bosses, right? I don't know exactly how it would develop there. So like the kind of, orc society that Shagrat and Gorbag talk about wishing to establish, right? And which possibly existed, for instance, under the Great Goblin in the Misty Mountains, right? There were no big bosses, I mean, other than the Great Goblin himself, right around there. So, what the status of orc women was in the, in the kingdom of the Great Goblin in the Misty Mountains, I have no idea. But certainly under Sauron and Morgoth, for instance, I can only imagine two roles for orc women, that either they would just fight with the men because who cares, right? I mean, they all are fierce and can wield weapons, so why not? Or they would be like kept in continual breeding and childbearing, right? So as to generate as many orcs as possible. Either one would seem to me quite plausible, and possibly it would depend upon the sort of tactical or strategic situation, right? Are you in rebuilding mode with your armies, or in all-out assault mode? Let's see. Is that a tail? Thing isn't attached, is it? No. I think it's, yeah. It's part of that garment. Oh, it's a skin. Is it the head of the creature whose skin that is? Hanging down on your left hip? Yeah. Yeah, it's the skin of whatever creature that is there. So it's just got a skin wrapped around its middle. Is it wearing boots? No, those are just malformed legs. What is up with its left hand? Yeah, its left hand does end in a claw because it uses it here to hold the axe, sort of. Yeah, so I'm going to go with this is the whole mutation up on the back here was designed to be some kind of carapace, some kind of shell, like so, and then because it looks like he's wanting to. The idea that the upgrade concept here would appear to be, let's make them self-armored and self-armed, right? So let's like give them huge, transform their hands into weapons and their bodies into armor. Yeah, it does look like a crab orc. But again, I'm confused as to the Let me go back and read my quest text again. Didn't he say that it was their own people? Terrible creatures they call abominations. That's all you've mentioned. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's bad enough, right? What Saruman has done here is bad enough, and it it certainly does suggest that he's begun. I mean, this I would still call this a different stage, right? Even though it's only messing with orcs and not trying to breed a new, a completely new race, that is to be to humans what orcs are to elves. That's bad enough. That would be really horrible. Messing with the orcs is sort of bad enough. But one could see that as an early step. I would still think, well, I can't decide. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to decide whether or not messing with orcs in this way, trying to twist them into these abominable figures, these armored and armed orcs. Let's see. Oh, man. Just gonna pick your pocket, dude. I'm trying to decide whether that's better or worse, you know, than the crossbreeding. Better, I think. That is, you know, where along the step toward the, you know, where along the path towards the void this shows Saruman to be, right? And I think, yeah, in the end, I think that this is earlier on. So I would guess that this would have been one of Saruman's earlier stages when he decided that so first, you know, he's going to recruit orcs and, you know, wolves or whatever. Then he decides, hey, I can do even better than that. I can breed them myself, right? I can improve them. I don't need to fight any river turtles. Yeah, so he says, I can breed them myself. I'm going to upgrade them. Right, that's the next stage. And then, presumably after this failed, that's when he then has the bright idea to say, oh, hey, I know, let's crossbreed them. Right. Oh, man, that swamp gas detected me from over there. The decision to merge them with humans is a much... I do think, the more I think about it, the more confident I am. That's a much bigger deal. Much bigger than just simply trying to alter the orcs themselves. Let's see. Well, I failed to burgle anything, but they do seem to have pockets. And then I would say warping, just like taking humans and twisting and warping them to create a new parallel species to orcs, would be the final step from there. Even Sauron never did that. And, you know, and to be honest, this is also the implication with the Uruk-hai. I mean, Sauron never did that either. That's... In that sense, Saruman is actually worse than Sauron. I mean, like, what he has done is a greater abomination than almost anything perpetrated by Sauron himself. All right. I saw the Boar Clan folks up there, but they didn't seem interested in talking to me yet. I think I gotta turn in these quests back to my impatient friend at the barricades. So I need to finish finding my abominations. I don't need any more swamp gas. Thank you very much. I'm not going to be happy, though, until I successfully burgle something. Yeah, ooh. An Athelas essence? Really? You were packing an Athelas essence? Maybe that's a cry for help. Maybe it suggests that they're in pain, but would Athelas help an orc? I'm not really sure about that. Oh, here's another one. Hey, all right. A yellow mob. I just noticed that. That's great. I'm finally... My project to not get too far ahead of the mobs around me is paying off. Who's up there? It's a diseased rat. Oh, good. I do need another one. go get him. Right. See, Phil, that's just what I was thinking. I was thinking of Gollum's reaction to the Athelas, or to the rope, right, to the elven rope. Now, it's different, right? It's not, Athelas is not an elf thing, and it seems to be like elves and elf magic that Gollum refers to. Elves twisted it, cursed them, right? Yeah. Whereas, Athelas is a Numenorian plant. You're going, oh, here, Kiriana, you're saving this one for me? That's very kind. Alright. Let's go back and turn these quests into a Nuren, and then see if we can go meet the Boar clan. I want to get to the bottom of this abomination thing. Because, see, I have another question. Are they in pain? Like the fungus orcs in the Foundations of Stone were in pain, right? I mean, they were being tormented, like, at the time. Do these orc abominations know that they're living a horrible life? Right? I mean, or are they just ugly? Alright, let's see, what do we got? They're just a bit healthier now. Oh, good. Alright, Saruman seems to have increased his studies in the bog. Oh, like of late. Really? So you've got Saruman experimenting with chemical and biological warfare as well? Typical. Okay. I do as you ask without thought or question. Well, I mean, I am thinking about it. The abominations are a sad tale indeed. Yeah, tell me the tale. They kill without thought or question, but for all the wrong reasons. Oh, they also kill. So they're like me. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. We watch them, but we are wary of destroying them all because it is not in our nature. Okay. So you don't go in and just purge the camp. Got it. You may have information regarding the Dunland strangers I am seeking. Who am I seeking?
Not speak the names of
okay.
evil things.
All right.
You will call them.
It seems the outside world will invade into our own no matter what we do. It would be best that we prepare. Yeah, I agree. I hope that the Devodiad you seek can be of help to you. What? Wait, which Devodiad? I'm seeking Devodiad? I didn't know I was seeking Devodiad. I thought I was seeking people from your clan. No, okay, so apparently I totally misunderstood the Elder entirely, and he was saying that there were others who had been... Anyway, okay, alright, let's see. They are part of a group who seek to protect Dunland from the upcoming storm and call themselves the Boar clan. Right, tusks on their face. Saw some of them standing right next to you. In honor of the clan who resisted the White Hand to their very end. Ah! So they're not Boar clan? The Boar clan was destroyed, as many of the Dunlanding have been telling me all across Dunland. We may have to join them in their fight sooner than we had anticipated. Okay, I'll find them to the north, just south of Llan Colvarn. Right, found them. Yeah, the village of the condemned. It was once Llan Ross before Saruman forced us to move here. Oh, that was your old village? And so you don't live on the bog on purpose. So you just built the bog. Oh, well then. Okay, so Saruman forced you to relocate. So these Boar clan dudes who are not really the Boar clan, but are calling themselves the Boar clan in honor of the Boar clan, and have presumably given themselves boar tusk tattoos recently in order to commemorate the boar tusk tattoos once borne by the Boar clan, who have now been destroyed. I'm so tracking with this now. They have come in lately. So originally, the Avankluth lived up here in the north on high ground, which makes all kinds of sense, right? Even though they're the Avankluth, they don't have to actually live in the bog, right? So they live up in the northern part, And then Saruman comes in and does something because they interfered. That was the word that the elder used. They interfered. Saruman comes in and he does something, which we're still trying to assess exactly what it was that he did. And they, the Avankluth, right, then those who survived or didn't have done to them whatever it was that Saruman did, then moved down and build their new village. Like it's like new Llanros, down, new but not improved, Llanros, down in the bog, and they abandoned their old village because it's now been taken over by the abominations, and they don't go in and slay all of the abominations because it's not in their nature. They're like, we're not genocidal folks, so we're not going to do that. I understand, but they're going to defend themselves, so they set up this barricade. And the Boar clan have since that time, since the time of the abomination thing and of the migration of the surviving Avankluth clan down into the southern bog, have now come in and are trying to intervene and do something with the abominations. This is the story as I'm getting it right so far, but I still am a little confused, and maybe even more confused than I think. So all right, let's go and talk with those Boar clan chaps that we just saw up here in our wandering about. So now I have two major questions that I'm interested in investigating here. One is, are there going to be human abominations as well as orc abominations? Right. So is this an invasion of warped orcs from the outside, or is this? Are they just one phase of the... Oh, I see you brought boars with you. How very nice and congenial of you, and a nice little boar totem you've set up here. I love how the boar totem has like little boar legs. Right? It's kind of adorable, actually. Okay. All right, Blair.
The oak wayrod requires...
It's about time the Avankluth came to their senses. We need fighters, not speakers. Okay. If I'm ready, you need to destroy these abominations before any more of them escape Clan Colvarn. I do not have time to mince words with you. Either you're ready to fight, or you can go back and join the elders. Okay, so I gather that you're frustrated with the elders of... And I hear that. They're kind of slow on the uptake. Okay, so I'm gonna... Patched bracers, huh? Alright.
Even the Accluth have need
Okay,
of
we need to
help.
strike at Clan Colvarn and defeat as many of the abominations as possible. Well, I'm game, but I have questions. Can I get but you're not a talker, right? You don't want to speak. That's disappointing. I was hoping for some exposition, frankly. If I abolish the abominations, can you tell me about them afterwards? The time of war is on the horizon. I agree, but it isn't necessarily today, so you have time to tell me the story. Defeat as many of the trolls? Ooh, there are abomination trolls. Well, that seems to clinch it. Okay, I mean, at least you're giving me a little bit more evidence, so... Oh, hey, Delwyn. Are you... Hey, you're washing him! That's great! I just noticed the sudsy tub. You're bathing the boar. That's excellent. And he's surrounded by this cloud of flies, and that is awesome. That is awesome. You are bathing the boar. Sorry, you're busy and everything. Blair and the others just want to kill anything that moves and has a white hand emblazoned upon it. It's understandable, but I hear you. Let's talk more. You won't stand for it. These were once our people. They were? It's not their fault that Saruman wants to make half-orcs and uruks. No, but they did not ask to be made into this. Warn our twisted kin and save them. They are not abominations. We need to help them, not destroy them. Go to Clan Colvarn and tell them to leave before Blair and the rest destroy the camp. You may see them as abominations, but I ask you to look more closely. That's exactly... Saving the twisted. Okay. All right. Huh. Whoa. Those bodies? What is down there? Are those corpses in the water? And if I get down there, can I ever get out again? Over there, I guess. Oh, wait, there's another. Oh, yeah. I was wondering. Normally these quests come in threes. Oh, dear. Uh-oh. Sorry. Don't mean to intrude on your grief there, Yestin. Are you going to tell me about... Are those dead bodies in there? Do you know some of those dead bodies in there? No. Find more food.
I pray to the
Find more food. Just shouting orders all the time. Are you just a mule? Oh, I see. It's your wounded feelings. You're not grieving. Okay. If I want to help you and help the Boar clan, you need more food. Okay. Fetch us provender. They may be our stores. Even the abominations must eat. Okay. All right. Sure. I'll do that. But are those dead bodies in the water? Hang on. We need to know this. I know they're all in a hurry, like, save the abominations, kill the abominations. No one wants to just, like, talk about the abominations. Okay. But Gryfflet is here to investigate. Not just to... He is not merely a hobbit of action. Answer, yes. Yes, they are dead bodies in advanced states of decay. Skeletons in the water. And dead fish. Yep, this looks unwholesome. Big dead fish and skeletons with loincloths. Wow. What happened here? Why is everything in this water dead? Was the water, is there something in the water, or is this just where you dispose of... I've discovered Lon Culvarn. Have I? Really? Okay. Alright, I guess. Huh. More swamp gas. Is this part of the disease thing? The disease subplot? Huh. Man, swamp gas is so annoying. Okay. Alright, well, let's stealth our way out of this. We won't even get credit for you. Okay, so the Orc Abominations, they're part of the Orc Slayer deed, right? And of course, Orc is in their name. But then here, both the elders in Hlanros and what's her name, Delwyn, the boar, and the Boar Bather, is what I shall call her. Now this water over here is totally healthy, right? I see no dead fish. I see no skeletons. That leads me to believe that whatever horrible thing was wrong with that other water is at the source up. So that's really interesting, right? That the implication is that there's something so vile up here that it polluted the water, right? The stream that flows out of the town. It's pretty hardcore. Whereas this one over here that doesn't flow out of the town but next to the town over there is totally fine. Okay. Okay, but see, I'm still confused. Because troll abominations, right? I could get if the people, right, if there were human Dunlendings who had been... Whoa, come on, don't knock me into the orcs. I got a close-up look at your belt buckle, which is nice. Oh, well, see what you did. Oh, oof. Excuse me. Pardon me. Anyway, my point is, if there are humans who have been part of Saruman's experiments and he's trying to mingle them with orcs, and the result are orc abominations in the sense that these are their, offspring or something, it would make sense. Or if they were humans who have been, changed into orcs, that they could still be called orc abominations. But the troll abominations, they must be warped trolls, right? See, a Dunlanding abomination. Hang on. Which is clearly different from the orc abomination. Let's take a good look at you. Whoa. Yeah. Oh dear, look at your forearms. So Saruman thought the removal of the skin was a good plan? Or are those like bone plates that have been... I'm trying to figure out if his skin has been removed or if bone has been welded on. I mean, clearly, the upper parts of his forearms, that's not good. I mean, those are presumably his actual tendons and sinews that we're seeing there, which has to be uncomfortable. But yet, notice how there seems to be armor, right? I don't think that's armor. I think it's connected. So that would seem to be made of bone or something, and the same thing with the half of his face, which looks totally like the Terminator in a kind of awesome way. Like horrifyingly awesome way. So, and the veins and stuff on your skin, which makes it look like it's kind of been sewn together. Okay, so I'm gonna theorize that slash across his chest looks like a wound rather than a plan, I think. So, okay. Let's hang on now. Okay, my theory is that he's trying to do with the humans, Saruman is trying to do with the humans here just the same thing that he did with the orc abominations that we saw, which is he was trying... Now, we don't see him changing their hands and stuff, which would make sense as the humans are slightly cleverer with their hands, though orcs make things too. But anyway, whatever. So, right. But he's trying to give them, like, an exoskeleton, right? Bone armor. That's what I see there on his left pectoral. It seems to be a bony carapace forming on top of his skin, as do the wrists, right? Which look to be... It's like his hands and wrists are turning into bone gauntlets themselves, right? Excuse me, just trying to see you from behind, if that's at all possible. It's the side. Yeah, look at his throat. Oh, come on. Yeah. Yeah, see the bone thing seems to extend down there. I can't. Another little wound back here. Seems not to live a very peaceable existence. And your feet, those just seem to be boots, right? You're just wearing boots? Oh man, you have a sad and pensive expression. Yeah, that whole Terminator thing on the side of your face is really disturbing. Okay. So this is obviously different. So we have what the evidence in the camp here then suggests is that clearly this is the place where he has put... So he's been trying to make upgrades, right? Which he's clearly doing by some kind of... He's twisting their shape magically This is not a genetic experiment, right? He's not, trying through successive generations to make this happen.
Woe to me.
Woe to me, he says. He's cowering slightly. Yeah. Go. Run. What was that? Oh. Okay. Well, you vanished. That's good. Hello. Okay, so now I have I have an unanswered question about the orc abominations here. Now I am quite confident that these are not twisted humans here. These are twisted orcs. So, but what he seems to be doing, Saruman, seems to be doing is twisting the orcs and the... What is this? He seems to be twisting them instead. Oh, hi. He seems to be twisting them rather than trying. This is not an interbreeding project, right? This is clearly not an interbreeding project. Right next to the refuse heap, huh? Tasty, tasty nibbles. Okay. Now let's set you free over here. Do you look the same? Yes, you do. Except you're carrying a bat. He's like...
Can't you leave me to my misery?
Yeah. Leave you to your misery? What, are you waiting for somebody to trade you to the Yankees too? Okay. I understand. I'll set you free. Okay. I have the distinct impression that somebody... Hey! You're attacking me with the baseball bat? Are you mad about the Yankees crack? I was trying to set you free from them. Yes. No one would want that. Wow. Stop with your whispering. Okay, so you refused. So the first dude ran off. You're not going to accept freedom. Would you actually want to play for the Yankees? Oh, then I have to put you out of your misery, I guess. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, this is really interesting. So we have here a little standing stone carved in pattern, see, especially up there at the top, slightly reminiscent of... Now, you'll remember in the barrows and things up in the Lich Bluffs, we saw a lot of stonework carving which was very similar to the barrows in the Barrow Downs. Very, very similar. Including the griffin doors. Remember, we saw some griffin doors. So this is a carved stone, and it looks like an ancient carved stone. Not exactly the same. Not the same kind of persistent swirly things that we saw, but it looks like a very ancient carved stone, which then has this nasty fungus grown over it, which looks like the fungus from the foundations of stone, right? Like the nasty fungus orcs down there, sort of growing up this, like a leprous growth growing up the side of the rock, which leads you to wonder. See, Jerosi, I'm wondering the same thing here. Is it possible that that Saruman is trying to replicate what happened to the Globsnaga, the fungus orcs, in Moria? Griffith was kind of in a hurry when he went through the foundations of stone. That's a bit of a blur for me. I don't remember the story behind them entirely. I mean, I remember that they were in pain. But see, here's the thing. This couldn't be cause and effect, could it? This stone here is one of two things, right? This seems to be an ancient monolith of the Dunlanding people. It's not the same as the wooden totems, but the wooden totems, one would imagine, suspect, are more recent or more modern than the ancient stone carvings. Certainly the carvings in the barrows, both the barrows that we saw in the Witch Bluffs and the barrows that we see in the Barrow Downs up by Bree, are all very ancient, right? So they're from the same sort of proto-human culture that came before the Breelanders, that came before the Dunlandings. Sort of the proto early human species that first migrated into this part of the world before they settled down and developed into the separate cultures. Of course, none of these have anything to do with the Numenorians, especially since this is a part of the world very separate from Numenor. I mean, if we up here, right? Okay. Because we have no, one more. Yeah. Here's where I want. Where are we? We are here, right, south of Enidwaith. And we know that the Numenorians settled up here, right, around Evendim, and then way down here around Gondor. So even after their return to Middle-earth, the Numenorians were never really concentrated in this area. They just kind of passed through. But of course, this long predates the return from Numenor, these carvings. So I'm guessing ancient Dunlanding carving, right? And it's now grown over with this hideous fungus growth that looks like the fungus growth of the orcs in Moria. Either this is a symbol for the abominations, right? These standing stones are a kind of metaphor, or it's actually cause and effect. Is there some way in which this is part of the mechanism, Saruman's mechanism for making the abominations? One can't think that that's an accident, that we get these very ancient and significant looking standing stones all covered in nasty phosphorescent leprous looking fungus growths, right? So that is very interesting. So Saruman here is attempting to upgrade. He's attempting to upgrade the everything, right? Trolls, orcs, humans alike. And this stream over here, this is not the poison stream. This is not the stream of the dead things. This is the healthy stream, right? That's where we are, right? Yes. And here's another one. And he does not have a bat, so that's good.
Woe to me.
It's looking at me with a blank stare. Be free, man. Yay! Run away. Okay, good. I like the happily ever after ones. Uh-oh. Help, I'm stuck in a boulder. Okay. Whew. I thought I was going to get Merlined into that boulder over there. Okay. Well, none of these guys are screaming in pain as we fight or when they die. So I have to conclude, based on what I've seen, that they're not in pain. So it's not merely an infection in the way that the orcs of Moria were infected. You know, the Globsnaga. Thank you for reminding me of the word. I couldn't remember the word for fungus orc. Globsnaga. But of course the word snaga means slave. You're watching the waterfall as a noble tradition, standing watch over waterfalls. in Lotro, but
I'm sorry, did you need something?
yeah, come on. Oops. I don't mean you harm. No. Yeah, there are more around the camp. I did notice at least one of them. So yeah, like I say, I think it's hard to imagine that they were erected for pure symbolism. That is, by Saruman. I mean, it could be cause and effect the other way, right? There could be some kind of connection. I didn't get a very close look at the troll abomination before I was attacked, but it seems to be similar. Kind of shell-like carapace in the back. His hands don't seem to be messed up in the same way. Doesn't help that he's standing in the dark. Yeah, look at that. Look at the skin on his back. It looks like alligator skin, right? Like he's trying to make it all crusty and armored. I mean, you'd think that trolls were already sufficiently, hard. I mean, it's already well known that you don't want to... Oh, I did coup de grace from midair. That was so boss. That was a sweet combat maneuver there, Griffith. I loved that. That was fun. Okay. What's this? Food bag? Oh, come on, man. See, Phil, I don't remember seeing non-fungus standing stones of that kind. I mean, we'd have to keep an eye out for them, to see if it's just the fungus versions. If we could see them in non-fungus corrupted fashion, it might help us to understand what's going on there. See, there's another one over there. Does this one not have no, it does have carvings. Just have to look more closely. Okay. Yeah, apart from the sort of alligator skin, I don't see many innovations. Like any evidence of what could be considered, positive innovations from a battle readiness standpoint of the troll abominations. The modifications to them can't have been simply recreational. From Saruman's standpoint, so I would expect something like that. Whose corpse is this? Huh. Is it human? Yeah, it's human. I think so. I thought it was okay. Maybe it is a half-orc. Oh, let's see.
It's a sorry day.
Cheer! Yay! Be free! Right. See, Phil, I love the way that you're thinking. I'm thinking exactly the same thing. If we can find them elsewhere in Dunland, we would either get some more insight into, oh, hey, look, I can talk to you again. That's sweet.
It's a sorry day.
Hey, that's good. I'm just going to keep getting the food crates as many times as I can. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Is that troll going to regen here soon? Yeah, because you're right that if they weren't, if we don't see them anywhere else in Dunland, well, see, I'm not sure what it would suggest, Phil. I mean, it is possible. It would suggest, I agree that it would suggest they were brought here on purpose. Would that prove that it was part of the spell, right? That is part of the magic that Saruman is working in order to create the abominations in the first place? I mean, I suppose it would. But of course, at the same time, it's hard because if I saw them elsewhere in Dunland, I would think that too, right? I would also be saying like, oh, well, see, this shows that it's... I don't know. Let's see.
Can't you leave me to my misery?
He's cowering slightly. All right. Okay. Same text. All right. And... oh, dear. He's not going to listen to my lies. There's going to be trouble. There's going to be trouble out behind this building here. Okay, so there's that first one that I saw, and there was another one up here. Wow. You guys have quite a range of vision. Did not expect to draw the aggro, all of them, as I came up the middle there. I was just trying to get this food crate. Alright, so I've got... I need one more food crate, one more abomination, and one more troll. And yeah, look at them. They're all over the place. There's one here, there's one up there. They're all in the middle of the paths, it seems to be. Look at this guy. Look at this guy standing in the middle of a burned out hut, as if to say, I am a metaphor for the fallen Dunlending society. Right? In fact, that's exactly what you are. Oh my goodness. Right? Half of the Dunlending society has turned into this hideous, monstrous, Terminator-like thing, right? The Dragon Clan. The side of his face is like the Dragon Clan, and the rest of his body, which is like parts of his, members are transformed and hideous, and other parts are wholesome, but are still human, rather, but like diseased and wounded, right? Like the loyal clans of the Dunlendings who haven't turned and assisted the wizard. Wow, you are a very standing in the burned out husk of the building, right? Hey, but we are what? We were 5 and 3, right? We set free more than half of them, so that was good. Yeah. I don't think I want to go up there. Hey, look, I can get that food crate again. Do we see stones just like this in the Barrow Downs? I mean, they remind me of stones in the Barrow Downs, but I don't remember stones exactly like this. And they seem to be the only stones that are carved, and I don't really remember seeing carved stones in Dunland. I mean, yes, in those old barrows. See, there's another one. They're all right in the middle of the paths. Are they road markers? Like street signs? Pick in the troll's pocket. No? Oh, come on, he must have pockets. He's got every... I was hoping he'd have a purse. Which would be all like, here, who are you? Uh-oh. Oh no, I'm stuck in the dead cart. That's not good. That is what that is, right? A dead cart? Yeah. Cart full of dead bodies? Wonder what's the point of these. Hey, we never found the source of that river. What was the source of that river? Oh, it's this one. Right. Okay. So this is the diseased river. And yeah, look, skeleton. Uh-huh. Right? It comes from that waterfall. So it's already bad, whatever it is. It's up here, and there's Dunlanding standing in it. Of course, so am I, but, you know, only briefly. And, okay, let's see if we can find the source of the river. Can we get up there? No, this is just dead end. And we can't climb up this way. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back around. Oh, hang on. I'm stuck. I'm getting stuck all over the place here today. That's the problem. Poor Grifflet is all navigationally challenged here today. Alright, let's go back uphill. I want to see if we can find where that river is tainted, because all the dead things... I mean, the skeletons alone, it could just be where they dispose of the bodies of folks. Either dead experiments or the victims of experiments. Okay. And that's what's tainting the water itself, just all the corpses in it. That's possible. Probably that would be enough to kill the fish. Okay. Comes out there. Do we have it? Okay, here's the uphill river. All right, before it goes over this waterfall, is it already dead? I don't see any evidence that the water is fouled up here. Like, I don't see any dead fish. It seems to be full of plant growth. Okay, so here this stream... Let's keep going up. Might as well see the rest of the camp, because this was their old village. All right. So this was their old village. Where does it lead? Well, you know, if we could see an old shrine or totem, that would be really interesting. Is this the old chief's house? Right, more fungus rocks. This is the next layer up of the soon-to-be polluted river. This is a big old building. This looks like it could have been it's like the council hall or whatever. Or like the crafting center. Oh, they've imported a hanging iron cage. Oh, that's the good river right over there. And still haystacks. Are these dead carts? No. Oh, it's a backpack. And these stones all around it. Notice how these stones are positioned in a circle, right? 1, 2, 3. Is there a fourth one over there? Oh, that's a scarn deposit. Oh, there's 3. Whoa! Whoa. 4 of them in a cluster. Counting just this one out here, there were 3 around the building, but then we get this cluster of 4, so it's not a circle, not even exactly a square. It looks like it could be around an opening, but there isn't any door. Not even a door we can't get through. Great, now I'm in trouble. There's a door! Which we can't, of course, open, but... Ha! Oh, wait, you just saw fish jump out of the river? Which river, Kiriana? The healthy river or the poison river? The stones are similar to the ones used by the Gaunt Lords in Eriador. See, Bumble, that's exactly what I'm wondering, right? If this is actually cause and effect. So you saw fish... Oh, well, here they bifurcate. So the good river and the bad river have the same source, so they can't be tainted right up here. I think the implication, therefore, must be that the problem with the river is that they're throwing corpses in it. That they've made that area, especially below the waterfall, right south of the bottom end of their camp, that they have made that into a you know, a corpse dump, essentially. So, yeah. Yep, they both flow from the same place. So over here is where you saw the fish jumping? Yeah, right over here? Okay, I didn't see the fish jumping, but I can believe it because we're just flowing out of the same stream there. So yeah, I don't see anything fouling the water up here, but just above where we saw those corpses, those skeletons, you know, floating in the river, there were those dead carts, right, full of corpses. Whether those corpses are from failed experiments or whether they are from, that is, they're like, you know, abominations that didn't make it, it didn't survive. And there seems to be no active process. Like, for instance, I don't see any, you know, any factories. Remember the factory chimneys, the white factories that we saw? You know, way back in the Lone Lands and Fornost. Yeah. Yeah, see, Phil, the connection between the Gaunt Lords and the Wizards is interesting. And it's, that makes Bumble's observation of the similarity particularly interesting. But I'm not sure. I'm not wholly convinced, because I'd have to see those stones again, the Gaunt Lord stones, in order to be convinced. Because my memory of those, I vaguely remember them, but I don't think they're the same. And I think that weren't those stones made by the Gaunt Lords, like that had sigils on them that were placed there by the Gaunt Lords, whereas these appear to be, older stones carved by the ancestors of the Dunlending themselves that have then been tainted. So below the waterfall is where you saw the fish jumping. Okay, so the river's still healthy even way down there. Right, down by the troll bridge? Okay, right, I remember that's the troll bridge down there, so got it. Okay, so right, that does seem to suggest then that the river is not tainted by flowing through the camp, but rather when they're chucking stuff into it, so that makes all kinds of sense. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It was part of the White Factory, right? It was part of with the purple smoke and everything else, right? So those seem to have been actual evil runes carved onto the stones by the Gaunt Lords. The function here seems to be entirely different. Or rather, the process seems to be entirely different. Are these heads on spikes? Yes. Human heads appear to be. Huh. All right. Well. Oh dear. It's time for Grifflet to go. Actually, I'm not gonna just kite everybody out here. I'm gonna stealth and head back. Go back out to where the boar clan is bathing boars. All right, and then. See, other than that little cluster of 4, though, and the 3 that seem to be set around the main hall, and I take that to have been the Chieftain's Hall. Then I've got to think that, see, the rest of these don't seem to be strategically set. So they don't look like they are necessarily casting the spell, in which case they would be an effect rather than a cause. See what I mean? That is, these stones could be part of the evil spell that is warping things into abominations, or they could be an effect of it. They could be, somehow kind of connected with the people of the land, and since the people are being warped, they are growing these hideous growths, right? So it'd be an effect rather than a cause. All right, I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, I've got to run. Griffith wants to try his hand at bathing boars. Okay. Very good. So thanks for joining me here today. The mystery of the abominations up here is very intriguing, and I know I've been intrigued, and I hope that you have enjoyed exploring and trying to figure this out with me. Sorry, that's a saddle. Isn't that a saddle? Tell me they saddle these boars. Because if they do, that would make me really happy. Is this a boar saddle? In which case, no wonder you want to bathe it. Wow. You guys are even cooler than I thought. Not only do you bathe your boars, you ride them. Come on. Wow. All right. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I'm not sure it's big enough either, Phil, but it doesn't look like it's big enough for a horse. I don't even know. Anyway, okay. All right, fine. Never mind. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I will be out next week. I'm going to be, it's Christmas, right? And I'm going to be out traveling with my family. So I will be, I'll be away next week. I will be back the week after that. So the very first week of January, I will be back that Friday. We'll do some film and then Grifflet thereafter on Friday. The week after that, I'll be gone again. So it'll be gone for a week, back, and then gone for a week and back. Because, of course, the week after that, the week of Friday the 12th, I will be down in Texas getting ready for TexMoot, which is January 13th. So strongly encourage any of you who are down in the Texas area. This will certainly be my last chance to tell you about it, as our registration will probably be closed by the time I am starting up again. I'll be back in 2 weeks. So if you are anywhere in the Fort Worth area and would like to come down and hang out with me and a bunch of other awesome people to talk about Tolkien and other fantasy and science fiction literature, the topic of the conference is literature and healing, stories for the refreshment of the spirit. Really, really fascinating topic. So I look forward to I would love to meet some of you there. Just go to texmoot.org, texmoot.org, and you can get full information on the conference. Anyway, so it should be cool. Yeah, Fort Worth. I know Elindris, I'm from the Northeast, and so I have this temptation of thinking like everybody in Texas can come, right? Because like everybody in New Hampshire could come to where I am. But Texas is different. I know. I totally understand. Anyway, so I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. Would love to get to meet some of you. TexMoot's going to be great fun. In any case, I will be back in 2 weeks. Have a great holidays, people, and I will see you guys in the new year just after Tolkien's birthday. Thanks a lot. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.